Today our topic is culture and science. So here we learn about the ancient Indian legacy in science and culture. Then we learn about ancient Indian literacy forms, then different ancient Indian architectural forms. So science and mathematics. So in ancient times, religion and science was inextricably linked. Astronomy made great strides in India because the planets were regarded as gods, so their movements were closely observed, and their study became essential because of their relation to change in season and climatic condition. So the most famous and renowned scholar, whose name was Aryabhatta and Braha Mihara. Aryabhatta calculated the position of planets. He discovered the cause of lunar and solar eclipse. And Aryabhatta worked in entitled Aryabhatiya. Bahamira wrote Brisha Bihat Samhita in the 6th century BCE. In this book, he described the movement of the heavenly bodies and meteorological phenomena. Then the science and grammar and linguistic originated from the need to recite the Vedic prayers with exact precision. So this result in the first ever grammar book in Sanskrit by Panini called Astyadhyayi. And by the 3rd century, mathematics, astronomy, medicine began to develop as separate specialized fields of study and research. The first recording of decimal numbers can be traced to Indian mathematics. Other notable contributions have been in trigonometry. It is generally accepted that sine and cosine developed here. Then, by 2nd century BC, Apastamba produced a practical geometry for the construction and altars at which the king could offer sacrifice. Aryabhatta formulated the methods of calculating the area of triangle which led to origin of trigonometry. Then Indian craftsmen contributed much to the development of chemistry. Indian dyers invented lasting color and they also discovered the blue color. In fact, Indian smiths were the first in the world to manufacture steel. Then let's see literature part. The earliest work of Indian literatures were orally transmitted. This comprise of 4 Vedas, that is Rig Veda, Ayurveda, Samaveda, and Atharveda. So they contain the hymns, all the Vedic hymns to praise the god and goddesses. The Puranas literally means old. The Puranas contain story about god and goddesses such as Vishnu, Shiv, Durga, Parvati, all these Indian gods. And they also contain details on how they were to be worshipped. They also give us an account about the creation of the world and about kings. Then next come the Jataka tales and Buddhist Jain's text are other literary source. They pick Ramayana and Mahabharata and classical Sanskrit literature appeared in the period along Sangam literature and Pali canon. So both Puranas and Mahabharata are supposed to have been compiled by Vyasa and appended to the Mahabharata in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna and Arjuna are also better. Means there is a tale about Lord Krishna, Arjuna on the battlefield. Kalidasa considered to be the one of the greatest dramatist and playwright of the world. He wrote Abhijana, Shakuntalam, Raghuvansham, Ritu Sambhara, Meghdut, Kumar Sambhara Bhava. So one of the famous Tamil epic from this period is the Silapa Dictram. composed Lango around 1800 years ago. So oral folklore cultures are prevalent during the ancient times. So Panchatantra, so there is a book about Panchatantra also. So Panchatantra was composed by Vishnu Sharma in 500th century. So it was a collection of moral stories, good stories, where the character are the animals and behave like human being. Saharsha Chitra, the biography of Harshavardhana by the Banabhatta, is also a masterpiece of the time. Then let's see the work in architecture. So most of the archaeological buildings of ancient Indian constitute temples and stupas, and the earliest remains of archaeological evidence that were great on the remains of towns and Indus Valley civilization. So they are made up of burned bricks and throw a considerable light on the material culture of the world. So already we have discussed in earlier classes about the Harappa civilization, then in Indus Valley civilization, Mohenjo-daro, all this. There is a movie on Mohenjo-daro also. So these are the oldest of some of the oldest civilization. Now let's say the stupas. So one of the most composing structure of in ancient India of are the stupas. This speaks the skill of craftsmen. They were round and mound-like structure which contain the relics, bones, teeth, hair, and ashes of the Buddha or revered monks. These relics are kept in the central chamber in the beautifully curved casket. So these caskets are buried under the earth, and a dome-shaped umbrella are raised on the top. A path known as Pradakshina Patha was led around the devotees, and these devotees walks around the clockwise direction as a mark of devotion. The stupas at the Sanchi is also the most famous and has been declared a World Heritage Site. It has four elaborated gateways along the Torana at four different points. Uh, so you see this one, Sanchi Stupa. Other famous one include the stupas at Amravati and Dhamek Sarnath. So if you see this will this stupa Sanchi, this diagram. Now let's see the rock cut structure.